Hey guys, this is What's Good for Devotion. This movie originally came out in theaters in November 2022, but it didn't do that well at the box office. It didn't make the money back that it thought it would. But now it is on streaming, so you can watch it on Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, you name it. Um, and essentially, this story, it's about Jesse Brown, the first African American naval aviator, and his wingman, Tom Hudner, during the Korean War, specifically 1950. And it essentially goes through, that time period of the Korean War and shows their, I would say, working relationship, that connection that they start to grow together. It is honestly a very well done story. I would say between, all the actors, we see the definitely the connection between Jesse Brown, who is played by Jonathan Majors, and Tom Hudner, who is played by Glenn Powell. Their connection, seeing them work together, definitely very strong. But then we also see the connection of like all the other naval aviators and how they work together. That's also very strong. You see that kind of working relationship. Everything in this film, like I feel like I cannot put it into words. Like, and the story in and of itself, it is a time period that I feel like it's not touched too much upon, Like, we definitely see a lot of movies when it comes to like World War II and the Civil War. And this is one that is, it's the Korean War. It's one that we definitely don't touch too much on. And it still discusses and talks about issues that are still very important and very substantial during that time. And I think it does it very well. It seeing how these actors really go about their roles and these characters, like I said, I think it's just done beautifully. Jonathan Majors in particular, like he has been a rising star. Of course he's been in other stuff, but I've seen, seeing him in Loki, he's gonna be an Ant-Man, he's gonna be in Creed 3, like he's just constantly like signing that check. He's just constantly being in stuff. And I just really, there's some about him in this role. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. And not only his connection, I would say like the working connection with him and Tom, that was like really outstanding, but his connection with his wife Daisy. That is also something that I think works very beautifully, is written very well, and is shown very well on screen. Um, and it's one that I think will tug on a lot of heartstrings. Definitely tugged on mine, I think, for a lot of different reasons. This movie has, I think, a lot of themes that a lot of people, I think, can connect to for a lot of different reasons. I cried 3 times, and I feel like all 3 times it was for 3 different reasons. Of course, it was, but I think people can definitely get something out of this for a lot of different things. Um, and even seeing how, like, the role everything has kind of played into today, and how both of these families, like Jesse Brown's family and Tom Hudner's family, how they both have kind of like grown together. Um, I think that, is definitely, that's something that you definitely read about, I would say, towards the end of the film, because that's not the main purpose of the film. But seeing how that continued relationship is grown, I think is very beautiful. And, you know, if you're like me, you definitely fact check this stuff, because anything that is based on anything, you're like, okay, how much is maybe dramatized? How much is, whatever. I would say there are maybe like two things from what I was seeing. There was like two things in particular that stood out that were like dramatized or like changed a bit. So the first, there's a fight that is a little bit dramatized. Um, and then the second is, that could make you feel not misled, but I would say the connection or relationship when it comes to Tom and Daisy. Aside from that, everything else is very much factual from what I was reading. From what I was reading and from what I was kind of seeing, everything else seemed to very much fit with what actually happened. So, I, if you've seen this film, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. I very much recommend it if you enjoy films like this. Um, Go give it a watch. I very much recommend it. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.